Hey, Shalom. This is Brother Yuan. First and foremost, want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. One of the reoccurring themes for those who decide to take this walk, man, decide to step into pursuing how Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Let me get this settled here. Is that you're going to be abased or brought low in the eyes of those you once wanted to make proud. Talking about your family, your friends, okay? And you're hearing this from somebody who knows this for a fact. It's going to happen. You're gonna be brought low in the eyes of those who you once wanted to make proud. You know, me, for instance, and every brother has a testimony in it, and it has this reoccurring theme in it. I was playing college ball on TV, 14,000 people a game, you know, in a big city. The Lord had it to where my father was killed, and it sparked something in me to inquire of what was going on. I ran across the apostles and elders on the unicorn. And I said, well, it got to be somebody close to me. And that's how I met and found, you know, searched out Elder Manasseh Zakba. That's who the Lord had me come up under and grow up under. Okay. Now, in starting to pursue this walk, don't you know that, you know, all those people that were rooting for me in the world to succeed in the world, they started to look at me differently. The same way I'm pretty sure people have looked at you differently when you started to pursue this thing. Nobody's undergoing or suffering some affliction that's not common to the body. Okay. As though some strange thing happened to you, like the scriptures say. Okay. And the reason the Lord does that, the reason he has you abased in the eyes of those that you once wanted to make proud, is because it detaches you from the world. You place value on making the Lord proud now instead of the people in the world. Let me read this precept here, and we'll continue on. We'll start at 34. Matthew 10 and 34 says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. Because 9 times out of 10, your parents not going to be in this walk. You have rare cases, special cases. And if you are one of those special cases, man, hey, call on Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. But most people, man, their loved ones aren't going to believe. Their loved ones are going to continue to be in that gross darkness. All you can do is walk uprightly. Do what you're supposed to do in hopes that maybe you could be an umbrella, a hiding place from the wind for your loved ones. But majority of the time, you got to come to the conclusion and to the reality that's not going to happen. Your mother's not going to make it. Your father may not make it. Your brothers, your sisters, your friends, they're not going to make it. Tough pill to swallow at first, but it's simply the reality. They'll be right in the kingdom. You know, when they come back, that's another, you know, that's a comfort. That's comfort from the throne, because now you understand how life and death works. You know, it may hurt you at first, but now you're like, well, you know what? They're going to be back in the kingdom. Even if they don't make it on this side, you know, we still win regardless. All right, continuing on. Verse 35, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. This truth, this walk, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding has to take precedence over your carnal aspirations, dreams, or relationships. This is first. People in the world, they say they put God first, but truly they don't, man. They don't make any sacrifices to please the Lord. They don't change and conform to the instructions that the Father has given to them in hopes of pleasing him, in hopes of offending less. They don't sigh and cry for the abominations being done in the midst thereof. But you do. All right. Verse 37 again from the top. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. That's a big hurdle for a lot of brothers. Your children, they don't come first. This comes first. And by you putting this first, the Lord will take care of all those other things, man. Seek ye first the kingdom, right? And all those other things will be added unto you. Thus saith the word, man. And he that taketh not his cross, we're in verse 38, he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me, I mean, it's a doing, man. It's a doing. And this, what this is really talking about is you laying your life down for the things of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And we know there's no greater love than that, right? He told us in John the 15th chapter, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Okay? And we're reciprocating that love. We're laying down our life for him, man. That's what this is. Verse 38 again. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it, man. So yeah, when I was doing this and the university was receiving hate mail. Hey, do you know your one of your players is downtown teaching and talking about white people? Do you know? Man, they wasn't having that. They wanted to find a way to, but I was like, look, they came maybe say you gotta, you gotta pump the brakes on that. I said, I'm not pumping the brakes on this. This is what I believe in. I stand for it. And there was even people with me on my, on the team that was even teaching with me at one point. But when they got that gag order, they stopped, man. They got that gag order, they stopped. They wasn't ready to sacrifice their status or the opportunity in the world. Because the brothers I'm talking about, including myself, had an opportunity to make a lot of money. We was in a position to one day make a lot of money. But the Lord put the spirit, said, hey man, that ain't it. He put the spirit on me, like, this is gonna be a short time. Hey, at the end of the day, you seen what happened with the plan, the pandemic. That could be cut short. You might have to compromise your integrity. You might have to take jump shots to continue to do certain things. Nothing in this world is worth putting your salvation in jeopardy. All this stuff is fickle, it's temporary. All right? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Nothing is worth voiding your salvation. Not your parents, not making anybody proud in the world, not your woman, not your, vice versa. I'll put all that shit on the back burner, bro. This is it. You have to truly detach from the world. Oh, I forgot which brother said it. He says, that which you're not willing to sacrifice will become the sacrifice. Those things that you don't want to let go, the Lord gonna force for you to let it go, man. That which you do not want to sacrifice will become the sacrifice. Separate from this place, man. Check yourself, evaluate yourself. Am I giving whatever it is, this person or this thing, too much time and attention? Is it taking precedence over me, over my growth in the spirit? You understand? You have to constantly be in that. Constantly be thinking like, what could I be doing? Could I be doing more? Am I bullshit? And you know when you bullshit. You know it. There's nothing that you have going on. We've been talking about elder records here. We've been talking about it a lot. There's nothing that you have going on that's so important that you shouldn't be having the pedal to the floor, man, in the spirit. Let me see what you brothers got here. Hey, Shalom, brothers. Shadow of Thy Wings puts up Luke 9:62. It reads, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back. And this was me mentioning the dudes that came in with me. And when we got that gag order that we couldn't teach, those dudes went back into the world, man. I still know some of the dudes, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I know they see the prophecies going on, And it's crazy. Whenever something major happens, they'll reach back out to me. They'll send me a text or something. I know they're feeling convicted. All right, but yeah, man. No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. You're not, man. Nothing should take precedence or even be close to taking precedence over this. And we're gonna go to Luke the 8th chapter, man, because it's just what it is. There's certain people that are in certain lots. Okay. Let me go here. I know you put something else on there. 2 Corinthians 4:18. Salakia. All right. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. Yeah, this place is temporal. I'll go read. I was going to get 2 Peter's. All right, since I quoted it, I'll read it. 2 Peter's 3:9. All right, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. What did he promise us? He promised us the kingdom, man. We know there's a kingdom to come for us that's going to be established on righteous principles, which is why all the men of the Lord, none of the prophets, none of the men were in the spirit of God bless the kingdom I'm in captivity in. They prophesied both against many countries of war, evil, and pestilence. Okay? The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward. So that's a side note, all those possessive pronouns. All right? Us word. Not everybody, us word. All right, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Okay, we know that's not going to happen, but you know, the Lord has his man out here. He has his counsel, but the wicked, 2/3 of our people, okay, they said it not all the Lord's counsel, like it says in Proverbs, the 1st chapter. Everybody has their part in the Lord's movie. There's some people who are meant to get it. There's some people who are supposed to get it for a time. And the Lord will wake them up and just to kick them out, to make an example out of them of what not to do. Okay, Lord willing, that's not us, right? But that's why it's so important to constantly be examining yourself, praying. You should be praying multiple times throughout the day. Pray without ceasing. All right, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. We know that's those missiles, man. This place is going to be burnt to a crisp. But there's only one way to evade it. There's no escape from it unless you're taking that straight gate, which goes into the fact that you're going to be afflicted. My son, Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, and I'll get that after this, but I'm going to finish this real quick. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then, that's the point, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, that this place is temporary, right? Nothing in this place should take precedence over your walk and your growth. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay, what are you giving your time to? You could tell what a man values by what he gives his time to. Okay. Where did I say I was going to Sirach? Okay. And then we're going to go to Luke, the 8th chapter. And I'll break that down, then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Sirach 2:1, I quoted. Okay. Yeah, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You're going to be tried. And then you jump down. Let's just read 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly. You catching hell? Well, damn, that's a part of it. That's rite of passage. You're supposed to be catching hell. You're supposed to be being refined, getting prepared for the big battle. You got little tests right now that you go through, which really ain't shit. Oh, I got bills to pay. I'm dealing with my woman, or the kids, and this and that and the third. Oh, I got ailments. Those are little battles. But you take those as opportunities to refine, to learn how to persevere, to learn how to endure hardship, to learn how to still walk uprightly even when things aren't going your way, to learn how to have emotional control, mental fortitude, these things. You take the afflictions you have right now as an opportunity, not to your detriment, not for your destruction. Okay, let's jump down to verse 5, Sirach 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. Now we go to Luke the 8th chapter. You're gonna go get the seed parable. And I love going to this chapter because it puts people in classifications that come into this walk so that you can understand. And then as you read it, you have, especially if you've been in this thing a little while, especially for brothers, people come to mind that fit these categories. All right, so this is Luke 8, and we'll start at just verse 4, right? Now Shai's giving them a parable. Okay, it says, and when much people were gathered together and were come to him out of every city, he spake by a parable. Verse 5. A sower went out to sow his seed. And as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden down, and the fowls of the air devoured it. Now we jump down to verse 12, right? Because it's going to explain what it just said in verse 5. It says, those by the wayside are they that hear, then cometh the devil, and taketh away the word of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. And you'll see people that even come up to camp, and they see it. You can see that they're intrigued, and they want to learn. And then you have a scoffer come up and cause contention and strife. And those people, they just they get disenchanted and they walk off. And basically they're just marked now, right? So that's what that is. All right, now verse 6, jump back up to 6. It says, and some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away because it lacked moisture. So it didn't have the proper foundation. Now you jump to verse 13, and it explains that one. Verse 13, it reads, they on the rock are they which when they hear, receive the word with joy. They're excited. I'm an Israelite. Oh man. They get the sweet, like it talks about in Revelation. When you eat that whole roll, right, it should be sweet in thy mouth, but it shall make thy belly bitter. They get the sweet initially, right? Let's read it again. 13. They on the rock are they which when they hear, receive the word with joy. And these have no root. They're not truly rooted. They don't understand what this thing is truly about. They don't understand Sirach 2 and 1, which is what we just read, that they have to go through the afflictions, that they're going to be tried in the furnace of adversity, right? So they're not rooted. That's why it's important for you to really understand what this thing is about, and to understand that catching hell is a part of it. Understanding that the people that you once wanted to make proud, you're going to be brought low in their eyes. And really, it's a small price to pay for kingship, for dominion, for rulership, for government, to govern men, for the right and the privilege to govern men, to have manipulation over the elements. It's a small price to pay to be abased for this short time, to be seen as being low. And the Lord wants to do that also because you got to remember, his name has to be magnified. He has to be glorified. He has to be, that's just what it is. The same way during the time of Egypt, man. He had Pharaoh, it seemed at that point in time that nobody could take down Pharaoh. We're talking about Pharaoh, man. He had him built up, and he had the children of Israel seem low, like nothing. And he showed his power because he's like, look, I could take these people at the bottom and set them over if I please. And even to this day, man, that people can give to that account. Every culture, every nation, they can give testament about hearing about that account. But in his second Exodus, that's going to be done on a completely higher level, man. It's going to be on completely high. The Lord has us being brought low, so when he does lift us up in the times to come, people are going to know it's the Most High. No question about it. Just like they knew that the Lord was with David when he slayed Goliath. Because technically speaking, that David being the young man that he wasn't supposed to just physically, you know, beat Goliath, but the Lord was with David. That's why he was able to do it. People are going to know that the Lord is with us. We're going to be like, look at these people that were so low, how the Lord has lifted them up. This can be no one. They couldn't be in this position. They couldn't be able to maneuver this time that they're, you know, they can't be able, they wouldn't be able to maneuver Jacob's trouble. They wouldn't be able to do these things. They wouldn't have this wisdom set to be the Most High. So, you know, it has to be done a particular way. So that's something that you have to understand. And if you're not rooted, going back to Luke the 8th chapter, if you're not rooted and you can't understand that, the first sign of adversity, the first sign of affliction, you'll be shaken up, man. You'll be kicked out of this thing. You'll wither away. Let's read that again. Well, I'll read verse 7 again. So like it's 6, and then we'll jump back to 13 because we're going back and forth in the seed parable. So it's given a parable, then we're gonna go read the explanation on it. So there's 6 once more. It says, and some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away because it lacked moisture. All right, now we go down to verse 13. It says, they on the rock are they which when they hear receive the word with joy, they get the sweet, right? Like we talked about in Revelation. And these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. You don't want to be a part of that number. And yeah, it's one of my favorite chapters, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. It says, what? We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. But this is the most honorable path in all actuality. They just can't see it because they don't have the eye salve. They see with carnal eyes, and we see with the spiritual. The water, brother, for the precept. Okay. Now let's jump back up and read verse 7. And some fell among thorns. Okay, and this thorns is important because that's really what the lesson is about. All right, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up with it and choked it. Okay, now we jump down to verse 14. And they which fell among thorns are they which when they have heard go forth and are choked away with the cares and riches and pleasures of this life, which is fool's gold. This place is temporary, but people, you'll see Jake get choked away with it, man, because they don't truly, deep down, what it boils down to is they don't really believe. Because if they truly believe, they would know that what's to come is far greater than anything they could have on this side. So why would you void that for this? Why would you, you know, just be content with that piece of pie when you can have the bakery and have all the pie you want? You know, let's go back up and read verse 7, and then we'll read verse 14 once more. It says, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up with it and choked it. Then we jump down to 14 again. And that which fell among thorns are they which when they have heard go forth and are choked with the cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to perfection. You see? So now going back to what we read in Matthew, man, nothing should be taking precedence over your walk and your growth. What a man gives his time to, you can tell what a man values by what he gives his time to. And if you're giving your time to this, you're building your riches in the kingdom of heaven, like it talks about in Matthew the 6th chapter. All right, now let's go back up because this is a lot we want to be a part of, right? We read the stuff we don't want to be a part of. Let's read what we hope to be a part of, right? This is verse 8. So Luke 8:8. And other fell on good ground and sprang up and bare fruit in 100-fold. And when he had said these things, he cried, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Because like Elder Rakas said yesterday at camp, some people don't have ears. What is this nigga talking about? Some people, everybody has ears. No, some people don't have the ears to hear, man. They don't have the mindset to comprehend the spiritual things. All right. So we just read verse 8. Jump down, verse 15. But that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart having heard the word, keep it. They act upon it. They rehearse the righteous acts, right? And bring forth fruit with patience. It takes time. It ain't you ain't gonna get it in a microwave. And that's tough for a lot of people growing up in my generation because they used to instant gratification. You know? But yeah, man, you're gonna part of being this truth, you're gonna be abased or brought low in the eyes of those you once wanted to make proud. But now that you're in this walk, you want to make the Most High proud. You want to make the Son proud. And that's detaching from the world, man. James 4:4. You adulterers and adulterers, know you not that friendship with the world is enmity with God. Okay? So with that being said, man, Lord willing, it was edifying. Lord willing, you got something from it. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.